North Korea, the Hermit Kingdom, a place shrouded in secrecy, hidden from the prying eyes of the world. This nation, with its tightly controlled borders and strict regulations, remains an enigma to many. It exists in a constant state of tension, a palpable reminder of the unresolved conflicts of the past. The Cold War's enduring legacy is etched into the very fabric of this nation, influencing its policies and its people. We hear whispers of a totalitarian regime, where the state controls every aspect of life. Citizens live under constant surveillance, their every move watched and recorded. But what is life truly like within this enigmatic nation? Beyond the propaganda and the parades, what do the daily lives of North Koreans look like? Many perceive North Korea as the world's most boring country, a place where time stands still. Its citizens are seemingly trapped in a time capsule, living lives that appear untouched by the rapid advancements of the modern world. Cut off from the trends and technologies that shape our modern world, they navigate a reality that feels frozen in time. Imagine a life devoid of the internet, of global news, of the freedom to explore and connect with the world. The freedom to choose your own path is a luxury that many of us take for granted, but for North Koreans it's a distant dream. This is the reality for the millions living within North Korea's tightly sealed borders. Their lives are dictated by the state, their destinies preordained, their daily routines, their aspirations, and even their thoughts are shaped by the regime's iron grip. It's a world where individuality is suppressed, and conformity reigns supreme. But behind the facade of uniformity, are there flickers of something else? A yearning for connection, for a taste of the world beyond? Despite the state's efforts to control information, there are whispers of dissent, of curiosity, of a desire to know more. For some, the dream of a different life is strong enough to risk everything. They look beyond the barbed wire, yearning for freedom. Let's delve deeper and try to understand the human experience within this isolated nation. What drives the people of North Korea? What are their hopes, their fears, their dreams? Dawn breaks in Pyongyang and the city stirs to life. The first light of day reveals a city that seems to be waking up like any other, but there's an underlying sense of control that permeates every corner. But this is not the vibrant awakening of a bustling metropolis. Instead, it's a carefully choreographed start to another day under strict surveillance and control. There's a rigid order to the daily routine, a sense of precision that is both impressive and unsettling. A sense of carefully orchestrated movement where every step is measured and every action is monitored. Citizens clad in modest attire march in unison to work units or assigned tasks. Their faces are often expressionless, reflecting the weight of their daily burdens. Days are filled with manual labor, ideological study sessions, and mandatory displays of loyalty to the regime. The work is grueling and the study sessions are intense, designed to reinforce the state's ideology. Evenings offer little respite, with state-controlled television and radio providing the only permissible entertainment. The content is heavily censored, ensuring that only the regime's narrative is heard. The lack of freedom is stifling. The air is thick with an unspoken tension, a constant reminder of the ever-present surveillance. Citizens can't choose their jobs, their homes, or even their spouses freely. Every aspect of life is dictated by the state, leaving little room for personal choice or happiness. Travel within the country is heavily restricted, requiring special permits and facing constant scrutiny. The idea of spontaneous travel is a distant dream for most. The outside world, with its myriad of cultures and experiences, remains a distant, forbidden dream. The borders are tightly controlled and the flow of information is severely restricted. Imagine a life where every hour is accounted for, where the concept of free time is almost non-existent, where spontaneity is met with suspicion, and any deviation from the norm is quickly corrected, and where individuality is replaced with unwavering conformity. The collective is prioritized over the individual, and personal desires are suppressed for the greater good. This is the rhythm of life in North Korea, a monotonous beat that drums on day after day. It's a life of strict schedules, limited freedoms, and constant vigilance, where the hope for change is a distant, almost unreachable dream. It's not just physical borders that confine the North Korean people. The regime has erected invisible walls within their minds, controlling the flow of information with an iron grip. Access to the internet is a privilege reserved for the elite few, and even then it's heavily censored. The outside world, with its diverse perspectives and challenging ideas, is kept at bay. The only news permitted is carefully curated propaganda, designed to glorify the leadership and reinforce the narrative of a nation under constant threat. This information vacuum creates a distorted reality, leaving citizens ill-equipped to critically analyze their situation or envision alternative ways of life. It breeds fear, obedience, and a deep mistrust of anything that challenges the official narrative. Imagine a life where your understanding of the world is shaped by a single, tightly controlled narrative. This intellectual confinement is perhaps the most insidious aspect of life in North Korea. In the absence of genuine entertainment options, propaganda becomes the primary source of cultural nourishment. State-sponsored theaters showcase carefully choreographed performances that extol the virtues of the regime and demonize its enemies. Mass games involving thousands of participants performing synchronized routines are a breathtaking spectacle of obedience and control. These events, while visually impressive, serve as powerful tools of indoctrination, reinforcing the collective identity and unquestioning loyalty to the state. Imagine a life where every song, every play, every book echoes the same message of unyielding devotion to the regime. This constant barrage of propaganda creates an echo chamber where dissenting voices are silenced and alternative viewpoints are simply not heard. This lack of cultural diversity contributes to the perception of North Korea as a boring country. However, it's crucial to remember that this is a manufactured boredom, a deliberate strategy to maintain control and prevent any cracks from appearing in the carefully constructed facade of national unity. Despite the regime's efforts, cracks do appear. These cracks, though small, offer us invaluable insights into the lives of ordinary North Koreans. They reveal a world that is often hidden behind a veil of secrecy and propaganda. The stories of North Korean defectors offer us rare, often harrowing glimpses into life beyond the propaganda. These brave individuals risk everything to share their experiences, shedding light on the harsh realities of living under such an oppressive regime. They speak of crushing poverty, of constant surveillance, of the ever-present fear of being reported for even the slightest infraction. The regime's control is pervasive, affecting every aspect of daily life, from what people can say to what they can think. Yet, amidst these tales of hardship, there are also glimmers of hope. These moments of joy and resilience show that the human spirit can endure even the most trying circumstances. Children still find ways to smile and communities come together to support one another. Defectors often speak of a yearning for freedom, for knowledge, for the chance to experience the world beyond their borders. This desire for a better life drives them to take unimaginable risks, crossing dangerous terrains and facing severe punishments if caught. They risk everything for a chance to break free from the monotony and control, to taste the forbidden fruits of individual choice and self-expression. Their journeys are fraught with danger, but the hope of a new beginning keeps them moving forward. One defector, a young woman named Yeonmi Park, described her escape as being born again. Her story is a testament to the resilience and courage of those who dare to dream of a life beyond the confines of North Korea. Her story, and the stories of countless others like her, remind us that the human spirit cannot be entirely extinguished even in the face of overwhelming oppression. These narratives are powerful reminders of the strength and determination that lie within each individual. These personal accounts humanize the people of North Korea, reminding us that behind the statistics and political rhetoric are individuals with hopes, dreams, and an intrinsic desire for a better life. They are not just numbers or faceless entities, they are people with stories that deserve to be heard and understood. The North Korean government presents its citizens with a utopian vision, a socialist paradise where everyone is equal, everyone works for the common good, and everyone is protected from the evils of the outside world. But this paradise comes at a steep price: the sacrifice of individual freedom, the denial of basic human rights, and the constant threat of punishment for any perceived deviation from the norm. The people of North Korea are trapped in a gilded cage, fed a steady diet of propaganda, and deprived of the information and experiences that would allow them to critically evaluate their situation. The lack of freedom and opportunity, the inability to pursue one's passions or dreams, contribute to the perception of North Korea as a boring country. But this boredom is a symptom of a much deeper, more systemic problem: the suppression of the human spirit. In recent years there have been whispers of change in the air. The influx of smuggled mobile phones and DVDs from China is slowly chipping away at the regime's information blockade, offering glimpses of the outside world. Some North Koreans, particularly those living in border regions, are beginning to engage in small acts of defiance, quietly questioning the official narrative and expressing a desire for greater freedom and connection with the outside world. These flickers of dissent, while still nascent, suggest that the regime's grip on information and ideology may be loosening, however slightly. The human desire for knowledge, for connection, for a life beyond the confines of the regime's control, is a powerful force, and one that even the most repressive regimes will struggle to contain indefinitely. North Korea stands as a stark reminder of the preciousness of freedom and the importance of human connection. While we may marvel at the country's uniqueness, it's crucial to remember that behind the facade of uniformity and order lies a nation grappling with complex challenges. The people of North Korea deserve our empathy and understanding, not our judgment or ridicule. Their story is a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked power, the importance of critical thinking, and the enduring human spirit's resilience even in the face of adversity. It's easy to label North Korea as the most boring country in the world, but such a simplistic label ignores the complex realities of life under a totalitarian regime. It's a country where boredom is a symptom of a much deeper, more systemic problem, the denial of basic human rights and freedoms. As we strive to understand the human experience in North Korea, let's move beyond simplistic labels and engage with empathy and nuance. The people of North Korea deserve our compassion, not our condemnation. Let's hope that one day, the walls of isolation will crumble, and the people of North Korea will have the opportunity to experience the world, connect with others, and shape their own destinies in a society that values freedom, individuality, and the pursuit of happiness.